Esta semana aprendimos los verbos que ustedes ven en pantalla: cut, choose, clink y creep. Si usted no sabe qué significan estos verbos, es porque usted no está suscrito a este canal y no los vio, porque estos son los verbos de la semana que acaba de pasar. ¿Listo? Los aprendimos tanto en presente como en pasado, como en participio pasado. Si usted los quiere aprender en este momento, haga clic ahí arriba en ese ojito para que los aprenda completamente. ¿Listo? En este ejercicio de listening en inglés, o en este audio para entrenar el oído en inglés, vamos a charlar de un tema al azar y voy a mencionar estos verbos en cualquiera de sus formas. La misión que usted tiene es tratar de detectar en qué momento de la charla yo menciono los verbos. Esa es su misión. ¿Listo? Entonces vamos a comenzar. Antes de comenzar, pues les pido que se descarguen la aplicación del curso completo desde cero y gratis. En el primer comentario de este video le dejo el enlace para que se la descargue. ¿Listo? Bueno, entonces sin más que decir, chicos, comencemos. Ojo, pongan mucha atención a ver en qué momento yo menciono esos verbos. This week I was giving a class. Or no, actually I was not giving a class. I was with other student. Okay, I mean, I was in class, in English class, with a student that was a presential student, a student who takes the classes presentially. And one of my students phoned me or called me. And he said, Miguel, teacher Miguel, I called you because tonight I can't be in the class. I have to say that with that student, we have online classes. It is the class is on Tuesday and on Thursdays. Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 p.m. Yeah. So my student called me and he said, teacher, I called you because I can't be in class because I had an accident. I cut my hand when I was trying to suture my cat. The matter is that my student is a veterinarian, yeah, and he was trying to cure or to suture his cat because his cat had a little accident or a small accident, and he was trying to do that and he cut his hand. And he said, no, teacher, I cut my hand. It is just I have got an injury because I had to go to the hospital because he cut it, and that was a problem for him. So for that reason he couldn't be in the class. So I told my students, okay, there is no problem. Accidents usually happen, so don't worry. If you cut your hand, there is no problem. I'm going to text your partners. I'm going to text your classmates. And I'm going to propose another day to have the class. But as you had the accident, you have the option to choose the day. You have the option to choose when you want to recover the class. And actually my student said, okay, teacher, there is no problem. For me, it is okay to have the class on Saturday night. And I said, okay, if that is your decision, there is no problem. I'm just going to text the girls and I'm going to check what they say, if they choose the same day or if they choose another day. And if they say that it is okay, there is no problem. We can have the class on Saturday night. And that was like that, actually. Actually, right now, I'm recording this video, and after recording this video, I'm going to have the class with my students. And I think that I'm going to ask my student what has happened with his most recent injury or with the cut that happened in his hand. Okay, but I don't know, many people, especially children, when they see this kind of accidents, or when they see blood everywhere, or when they see blood, they just cling to their mothers. They just say, oh, mom, that man or that guy is bleeding. So, and they cling their mothers. Hmm? And it is because when you see blood, it is a sign of danger. Hmm? Or we usually think or we associate blood with danger. And for that reason, when it happens, we prefer to cling to the person who is next to us because we need to feel safe. And for the reason is that I say that it is especially when we are children. Yeah? Because as adults, we don't do it. As adults, we feel just nervous. As adults, we feel just a little bit scared. But we can control our emotions. Hmm? We can control that situation. But children now, children are not able to hold this situation, to address this situation. So for that reason, they cling to their mothers. And another example is for example, when they are walking, when children are walking on the street and they see that perhaps a dog had an accident or perhaps a car has crashed a dog, and children cling to their mothers and they say, oh, mom, look at that. There is a dog, poor dog. And they cling to their mothers because they need to be safe. But that is not the only situation where we feel nervous, or that is not the only situation where we feel like this. There are some other situations that produce danger or produce this kind of emotions. For example, I remember that when I was in the army, we have to at that time we had to creep in the training track. That was a very difficult training track. That was very demanding, and you had to be very very physically fit because if you weren't, the training was gonna be a lot difficult. Yeah. And I remember that when you had to creep in the training track, there were a lot of obstacles. Yeah, there were a lot of things that you had to overcome and that you had to cross. For example, water and some kind of wires and so on. Hmm? And sometimes when you were just passing the obstacles, when you were just passing the track, or when you were just passing the the that area of different activities and dangerous activities, it was possible that you cut yourself. Hmm? It was possible that you cut not only your hands, but maybe you cut your chest or your belly or any part of your body. But it was possible that you could cut any part of your body. And when you cut, you had to go to the hospital, but the hospital was inside the army, was inside the military center. Hmm? But all of those situations used to happen because you had to creep on the ground, you had to creep in dangerous areas. But of course, that was the training because we were soldiers. And you know, as soldiers, you have to be very well trained. Hmm? And, you know, soldiers soldiers usually have a difficult life. And of course, the training must be demanding. Hmm? Of course, in life, or for example here in my country, you have different alternatives. You can have the alternative to go to the university, or you can have the alternative to go to the military service, or you can do any other activity, but you have to pay for the military service card. Yeah? But that is your decision. You have to choose what you want to do after school. You have to choose what you really want to do in your life. You can choose going to the army, you can choose going to the university, or you can choose pay for the military card and not going to just to do the military service. In my personal opinion, I think that at least in my country, it is not good, or doing the military service is not good, unless you are thinking to continue with the career, with the professional career in the military forces. Yeah. But anyway, that was just my point of view, and that was what I wanted to tell you. Okay, guys. ¿Usted sabe qué significa esto en inglés? Haga clic. Haga clic y suscríbase. Haga clic y mírelo. Haga clic, vamos. O haga clic aquí y suscríbase. O mire el video. Y nos vemos en el siguiente audio. Bye, bye.